So here's another video of my shrimp tank next to something else that's kind of something that I kind of think is a really cool creation. So this is an old alcohol bottle, liquor bottle. So if you are over 21 and you drink, and you like to drink a lot of these liquors that come in these size bottles, you can turn them into a very interesting little kind of mini project, kind of like an ecosphere. I have here in this particular bottle some hornwort. I think that's what it is. Although I've always kind of called it something else. I think I called it mulefoil, which is the name of it, and it's kind of gets a really bad rap as being a kind of invasive plant in a lot of ponds around the United States. But I'm pretty sure other people call this hornwort. It's a type of aquatic plant that doesn't need to have roots in order for it to grow, so it can be a floating plant. And I actually have this in my shrimp tank, and uh, it grows so quickly that it ends up, covering most of the surface of the tank. So I actually pull out a lot, probably every 2 weeks, and I actually dump it into all my other planted tanks, to keep them there. I've never found many people who are interested in getting this particular type of floating plant because it doesn't really have any flowering or root. It doesn't really root very well, but it grows like crazy in a high lighted tank, with so any bright light will really get it growing, and it's going to suck up a lot of the nitrates in your tank. So overall, it's great, but it's not very pretty, I know. But in terms of things like shrimp, they definitely like resting on it. And I will also say, if you are a person who likes to take care of puffers and you've had trouble feeding your puffers because they only like to be fed bloodworms that float in the water, and when it touches the bottom of the tank and they don't go near it, you can actually use this particular type of floating plant, because anytime you spray kind of thawed bloodworms, they will get onto the floating plant. It'll stay there, and that kind of keeps the puffer kind of interested and in continue to feed and not waste all those bloodworms. And just to kind of zoom in so you can see the blood the hornwort that I have in this tank. Also, I've put at the very bottom of the tank an old scrap of marimo moss balls, that I had, from a different tank that, I pulled out of there. It didn't look, it was kind of, not very ball like anymore. So I just kind of threw in this tank, and just to add some type of life in it, I guess. I put some of the scuds or amphipods from my shrimp tank in here, just to have some kind type of action, swimming action by the scuds when you approach it. But otherwise, it's just very simple, low maintenance type of um, you know, uh, setup. If you like to have something that looks green but doesn't take up an entire tank space or requires shelf space, this is something that you can definitely put on a kitchen windowsill or any place that gets sun or light. And it's just a representation of some life in an otherwise maybe drab, house or apartment. So if you're ever a person who enjoys good liquor or knows somebody who has similar size bottles, feel free to say, "Can I have that?" and then put that into your collection of little ecospheres. So if you're interested in more ideas like this, feel free to leave a comment or subscribe. I definitely have a lot of these actually in my collection, so I'll maybe show off more of these in the future. Uh, and definitely, this is kind of a nice little recycling idea for the wine and liquor enthusiasts amongst us. So, uh, definitely let me know if you like this video by clicking like and, of course, subscribing.